Hi, scholars. I wanted to come on and give you an explanation of the Getting to Know Your Classroom assignment that is due next Monday, March 13th. After our discussion last night, I tweaked the guidelines and added a few of the charts to Blackboard. So thanks so much for your feedback and suggestions. So let's look at the guidelines, which can be found on Blackboard under the section Course Syllabus, Fieldwork Info, and Capstone Guide. We're going to click on that first link to get to the Getting to Know Your Classroom instructions. The sections that seemed to be the most muddy for you were the toddler class or classroom assessment scoring system, section 2, and section 3, the ITERs. So for the class assessment, you're going to pick one domain to be your focus, and you're going to say why you chose that domain. Then you're going to look at behavior markers and figure out which ones did you observe the teachers using most frequently, how and where they were using them, and which indicators did those behavior markers fall under. Then you're going to do the same thing, but looking at the behavior markers that teachers used the least frequent. So let's take a look at that chart that you're going to print out and actually use when you go to your field site on tomorrow to assess the teacher's actions or maybe even their commentary and conversations with students or the classroom environment. So the class domains are regard for child perspective, teacher sensitivity, facilitation of learning and development, behavior guidance, language modeling, and quality of feedback. We're not going to use the additional 2 on the first page. We're going to focus on these meat and potato domains. So say, for instance, you're going to select regard for child perspectives. That is the domain. The behavior markers are marked by bullet points. These are behaviors that you're looking to observe and assess. You can take a tally of how many times you observe the teacher doing it, put asterisks next to it, put yes and no. But these are the behavior markers that you're looking to see the teacher providing to the students. And then the bolded words here are the indicators. This indicates if the teachers are actually following through with these behavior markers. So, are the teachers following the children's lead? Are they providing choices or eliciting children's expressions and ideas? If yes, then those teachers are showing that they are child focused. Your second job is to figure out if this is on a low, mid, or high quality level. And luckily, they provided definitions here for us for what they mean by high, mid, or low quality. So again, you're going to figure out how many times or how often teachers are engaged in the behavior markers and give them a score of low, medium, or high, but you're going to explain why you're giving those scores. Next section that was muffled for you was the ITERs. So let's take a look at those guidelines that I've updated for you, and then we'll take a look at the chart that you're going to print out and use when you're in the classroom. So the ITERs asks you to complete an objective assessment of the listening and talking section. The subcategories that you're going to focus on are using books, helping children understand language, helping children use language, the use of television, video, or computers, and promoting acceptance of diversity. You're going to use the chart and simply write yes or no next to each of the indicators. But it's important that you be honest to give the classroom a fair assessment. You're going to report your overall scores for each of those sections on the chart provided below. As you can see on the chart, it's already been marked by each of the subcategories and then the numbered indicators where you're just simply going to write again, yes or no, if you've observed those behaviors or materials in the classroom. Once you've observed and written yes or no for each of those subcategories, which are using books, helping children understand language, helping children use language, the use of TV and technology, or promoting diversity, you're going to give those subcategories an overall score from 1 to 7, 1 being the lowest and 7 being the highest. Let's take a look at that ITERS chart that you're going to use for more clarity. So here is the ITERS chart for our listening and talking sections. Just use the chart that is here. We're going to look at the use of television section. So be mindful, this is just a tip. Everything under the ones section should be a no. So it may seem like a double negative, but it just means that you should not see these things happening inside of your classroom. So for example, 1.1 says material used are not developmentally appropriate. So your answer should be no, because the materials used in your classroom are developmentally appropriate. No alternative activity is allowed while TV, video, computer is being used or watched. The answer should be no, because if children are using technology, there should be alternate materials and activities for them to engage in. Then continue to follow suit. 3.1, are all materials used developmentally appropriate, nonviolent, and culturally sensitive? Yes, but if the answer to that is honestly no, then write no and move on. Keep answering the rest of the ITERS indicators. Then you're going to go back to the guidelines and answer the commentary. So after going through each of those subcategories, you're going to figure out which one scored the highest based on your overall observations in that score of 1 to 7. Which one scored the highest and why? And then the final conclusion for the assignment just asks you to describe your overall experience being a class and an ITERS assessor. What did it feel like observing the teachers and the classroom behaviors and then commenting on them in this final report? So that's it for now. I hope that this was very, very helpful to you and you've added more clarity to this assignment. Again, everything you need is on Blackboard. There are also samples that you can use as a guide, but not to cut, copy, and paste to your assignment because these are a little bit different than what's expected of you. And lastly, you're going to head over to that left-hand side of Blackboard and you're going to click on Capstone project, submit here to submit part 1 of the Capstone project. So when you submit here, you click it, you find your document wherever you have saved it or wherever it's housed, you upload it and then simply submit. Okay, that's all for now. I bid you a farewell and I hope you enjoy your weekend. And I can't wait to see you again on Monday evening. Have a good one. Bye for now.